Hey, what's up, guys? Tyler here with Secureteam. After everything that's happened this past week, I had to skip town. So me and my family are about 800 miles away from home. We're at the beach, trying to relax and kind of shake off the stress of this past month, and especially this past week after YouTube attempted to shut down the channel. And again, I want to thank all of you guys who came out in what could only be described as an army of people totally blitzing YouTube on social media and single-handedly got my channel back to me. So much love to you guys. If you haven't seen those videos, check them out. But yeah, I had to get out of town. We're finally, just relieving stress and relaxing. However, this story that's just hit the web is too hot to pass up. So I'm connected to the crappy Wi-Fi here at the hotel, and I wanted to show you guys. So if you haven't seen this yet, you'll know that for the past year or so, I definitely say it's been this past year, mainly. It's not just been channels like Secureteam and others talking about UFOs and trying to prove their existence. No, we have recently had many more high-ranking people in the government, people in the armed forces coming forward out of sheer frustration and revealing what they know and what they've experienced in regards to UFOs and strange things visiting our planet. Basically because they're sick and tired of being told to keep quiet. They are tired of encountering these mysterious craft that are pulling maneuvers and doing things that simply defy physics and gravity here on our planet, things that our aircraft can't do, and they're speaking up. And so you'll know recently, besides the Pentagon releasing a few UFO videos showing fighter pilots chasing these things, or rather being chased by these things at some points, we have a new article here. But in a nutshell, and to try to salvage what little Wi-Fi I have here so I can get this uploaded, we have multiple F-18 pilots that have come out and disclosed recent UFO encounters, and also described a new radar detection technology that is key in detecting these unknown objects. And it's a major upgrade that seems to have been the key in detecting and tracking these bizarre objects flying in military training airspace. And so what has been described as a major breakthrough in what could be one of the most fascinating stories of our time, we have 5 U.S. Navy FA-18 Super Hornet crewmen that are recounting a number of incredibly strange encounters with unidentified flying objects off the East Coast of the United States this time. 2 of the pilots went on the record. The surreal craft that they encountered had performance that defies known propulsion and aerodynamic capabilities, and are described as looking like something akin to special effects that you would see in a sci-fi movie circa late 1980s. The pilots' accounts also point to a major sensor upgrade on their aircraft that made the presence of these craft even detectable at all. What's even more important is that these events took place as recently as 2015, over a decade after the now famous Nimitz incident with the so-called Tic Tac craft. And so, like I said, I'll let you guys go and read the article, but I'm just going to read you some of the most important snippets where we have the pilots, in their own words, describing what they saw. And that's really the point of this video. I want you guys to hear from the horse's mouth what these pilots described. And then you tell me that this is all just a fairy tale, or it's all just secretive high-tech drones being tested. And here we have Lieutenant Graves describing how strange craft would appear in their training airspace and persist there for not minutes, but many hours or even days at a time. These mystery craft would hang around. He says, quote, "These things would be out there all day. Keeping an aircraft in the air requires a significant amount of energy. With the speeds we observed, 12 hours in the air is 11 hours longer than we'd expect." The report goes on to say that the persistence of these unknown craft was in no way the strangest thing about them. beyond being able to drop tens of thousands of feet in a matter of seconds, or possessing flight characteristics that are unobtainable with known technology, the unannounced visitors looked like nothing else on the planet. These things were like ghosts. They couldn't track them, they couldn't lock onto them, rarely even saw them. And this new technology, while much better, it still has trouble, but it at least detects them. It at least allows the pilots to know that something is there. And so, with that being said, this new leap in sensor radar technology sort of lifted the curtain, so to speak, when it came to detecting these UFOs flying near these Navy fighters while they were on their training missions. And so, getting back to what the pilot says, here we have, according to the New York Times, writing, quote, "People have seen strange stuff in military aircraft for decades," Lieutenant Graves said. "We're doing this very complex mission to go from 30,000 feet driving down. It would be a pretty big deal to have something up there." But he said the objects persisted, showing up at 30,000 feet, 20,000 feet, and even sea level. They could accelerate, slow down, and then hit hypersonic speeds. Another pilot named Lieutenant Acoin said that he interacted twice with the objects. The first time, after picking up the object on radar, he set his plane to merge with it, flying 1,000 feet below it. He said he should have been able to see it with his helmet camera, but could not, even though his radar told him the object was right there. Okay, so that to me, real quick, guys, that sounds like cloaking to me. If radar is picking it up and it's right in front of him, but he can't pick it up on camera, the object is cloaked. So the report goes on to state here, a few days later, Lieutenant Acoin said that a training missile on his jet locked on to the object and his infrared camera picked it up as well. He says, quote, "I knew I had it. I knew it was not a false hit, but still, I could not pick it up visually." At this point, the pilots said they speculated that the objects were part of some classified and extremely advanced drone program. But then, the pilots began seeing the objects. In late 2014, Lieutenant Graves said that he was back at base in Virginia Beach when he encountered a squadron mate just back from a mission with, quote, "a look of shock on his face." He said that he was stumped to hear the pilot's words, quote, "I almost hit one of those things," describing how he and his wingman were flying in tandem about 100 feet apart over the Atlantic Ocean when the object flew between them, right past the cockpit, and he said that whatever the object was, it looked like a, quote, "sphere encasing a cube." So yeah, strange. A cube with a sphere circling around it, encasing it. Now, the last part here that I'll finish off with is somewhat mind-blowing. Basically, the lieutenant describes a geometric cube with a translucent sphere of some sort around it, possibly a force field. And after the near miss, the pilots were officially spooked. And what was something of a novelty and a mystery originally suddenly became a flight safety issue, and they filed an official safety report. So they had a near miss with one of these flying cubes that had some sort of circular or spherical force field around it. Or, I don't know if it was made from glass, metal, what it was, but that's crazy. That's nothing of ours. Another thing real quick to note here is that they describe these objects accelerating to hypersonic speed, making sudden stops and instantaneous turns, something beyond physical limits of a human crew. So that's another key fact to point out, that humans cannot withstand the type of maneuvers happening in these craft. Amazing, amazing revelations. I'll save the rest for you guys to check out. If you want to go ahead and read the articles, I'll put the links down below. But the key factors here, more pilots, this time on the East Coast, coming out of frustration, describing mysterious craft shaped like cubes with spheres around them that are being picked up on radar but are unable to be visualized on camera, as if they're using some sort of cloaking mechanism. The objects witnessed lingering for minutes, hours, even days. And stuff like this really has to make you wonder, if we only have 5 pilots here, coming out, finally, out of frustration to tell their story. Imagine how many more pilots out there have similar stories. Is this a worldwide event? It has to be. We know it is because the other evidence we've shown on the channel over the years, it validates that. It's a worldwide event. It's an off-planet event. Dare I say it's a universe-wide event, or at least a solar system-wide event. Because the strangeness isn't just in our skies, it's off-planet. It's above Mars, it's above Saturn, it's above Titan and Europa and other moons. So, really, really cool. Tell me what you guys think down below. More proof that not only do UFOs exist, but more proof that they're 99.99% not human, not from this planet. Furthermore, validating all the work that we've done here on this channel. So that is a big win for us and the UFO research community. This stuff is no joke. I think that's why we've been seeing increased censorship lately. I think the stuff we talk about scares people. I think it makes large companies like YouTube and others want to censor that. So you'll stop posting videos about it. They have many ways to do it. But like we showed a couple of days ago, we are not going to stand for it. And we will make our voices heard if we are silenced. So with that, I'm going to get back to chilling here on the beach for the few days out of the year that I get to get away from the laptop in the house and spend some time with my family. So you guys have a great rest of your night. Thank you for stopping by, and I will see you back in just a bit.